If you're new in the IT GRC space, but you have no prior knowledge or no technical skills, you might consider obtaining a certification in order to increase your knowledge or your chances of landing your first job in the field. In this video, I'm gonna share with you the reasons why I think you should pursue a certification in IT GRC when starting out, based on my own experience, but I will also bring to your attention a pitfall that you should definitely avoid when pursuing your first or your next certification. My name is Yanis, former lawyer, now IT GRC expert, and together, you and I are going on a journey to take you from zero to IT GRC hero. Let's go. If IT GRC certifications were Pokemon, I would probably have caught them all by now. Okay, maybe not all of them, but my Pokédex would be almost full at this point. I'm just missing the rare ones. Okay, jokes aside, I have spent a lot of time going through certifications since the moment I came into the IT GRC space. It is a great opportunity to learn new things, especially if you don't have prior knowledge and you want to start in an area, but you are lacking the skill set or the knowledge that is required. I think there's quite a few reasons why a certification is useful for you as a beginner in the IT GRC space. And here's a few reasons. Number one, it's a great starting point when you have no experience. I mean, think about it. You're joining IT GRC, right? You don't have knowledge or experience in the day-to-day operations, in the technical skill set that would otherwise be required in the field of IT. You are missing critical information that would help you get that next job. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is to educate yourself. And what better way to do that than through a certification? There are, of course, countless certifications out there. This is not a video going through certifications specifically. A video on that topic is going to follow soon, so subscribe for that. But my point is, if you have no experience, you need to start thinking about getting a certification just so that you can increase the amount of knowledge that you have and then hopefully apply that information to your next position, to your next job. Start with a certification, start with educating yourself. I think this is going to benefit you greatly when you're starting out in IT GRC. A second reason why obtaining a certification might actually be beneficial applies to both you as a beginner, but also you as a more seasoned professional. And that is, a certification will almost certainly expose you to new pieces of information and new knowledge that you were not aware about in the past. Imagine studying for any particular certification. It can be anything around GRC, risk management, it can be the CISSP when it comes to the more technical part of it, CISA if we're talking about auditing, or CompTIA Security Plus if we're talking again about security. But any of those certifications is naturally and by default going to give you access to information that you previously didn't know about. And not only did you not know about that, but it might trigger the curiosity needed to explore different areas and to perhaps delve into those areas. So if you're studying about CISSP as an example, you will necessarily be exposed to identity and access management, you will be exposed to cryptography, you will be exposed to security and operations, or to networking. Any of those areas, through the certification, are potential candidates for you to explore from a professional standpoint. So you can then see, okay, I want to give some more emphasis and attention to cryptography, or to access controls, or to penetration testing, or to vulnerability management. There's a lot of areas that you can involve yourself in, and this is a great way to do it through a certification. Of course, keeping your horizons open and considering what are the available options, I think a certification is a great way to open new doors for you and explore the field of IT GRC. Okay, let's face it. Almost any job posting out there contain some interesting letter salad, which is a certification. There is all these acronyms that are included in almost every single job posting around information security, information technology, and so on. This is telling of the situation in the market. Even entry-level positions may have requirements for certifications such as the CompTIA Security Plus, for example, or the CGRC from ISC Square, or some other certification, but either way, almost every single job posting will require some certification so that they can better screen potential candidates and give chances to the ones that obviously have acquired those certifications. So if you obtain one of those certifications, naturally you increase your chances that you will be called by the recruiter and say, hey, we want to interview you, or you have what it takes to take on the journey in that new position. So get that certification. I think that's quite important. And the last big thing, the last big benefit of obtaining a certification when joining the IT GRC space or the cybersecurity space at the early stages is the fact that that certification increases your credibility in the market and gives you that stamp that you went through an exam and you succeeded. Ideally, a certification is a test, right? You study the material, you have an exam or a lab, you have to pass that exam, and then once you pass, you get a piece of paper with your details on it, with your score, and some congratulations that you succeeded in your endeavors. This is proof to anybody out there, be it an employer, a potential employer, a colleague, the information technology or information security community, that hey, I put in the effort, I went through the exam, I studied for it, I understood the concept, I learned information and I absorbed information, and then I went through that test, that challenge, I succeeded there as well, and here I am, I have that acronym or that letter salad next to my name to prove something to the world. So getting a certification proves that you went through a material and you passed the required exam or lab test in order to get that certification. Either that, or you know some people very well, or you have some very good hacking skills and you manage to get your hands on that certification in some other way. In both cases, those skills are also quite useful in our industry, in our community, so well done, I guess. Okay, arguable, but well done. But, and here's the big but, as I mentioned, there is a big pitfall that you need to be aware of when pursuing a certification. And that is especially important when you're first starting in the area, because it can really impact your career further down the line. And that is, a certification does not replace experience. Shocking, right? It is true though. At the end of the day, a certification, as I mentioned previously, is proof that you at least understood and comprehended a topic well enough to pass an exam. But that is about it. It doesn't trump, it doesn't substitute experience and expertise. Practical experience comes through day-to-day practice, comes through day-to-day interaction with the topic in question. And of course, that's exactly what you need if you want to improve your capabilities, is to practice more and apply the knowledge that you have obtained. If you try to set up a firewall without any prior knowledge, just because you passed a certification, most likely you will fail. If you try to read a log file just because you passed the CSSP, you will probably fail. If you want to become a pen tester and you just passed the Certified Ethical Hacker certification, you will also need the experience in order to perform your duties and to be able to become an actual professional and not somebody who is just hoarding certifications in the area. So my recommendation, if you're starting out in IT GRC, would be to, go for that certification. I think it's gonna help you quite a lot. I think it's gonna give you a good overview of the topic in question, but after you're done with that, I strongly recommend that you actually try and apply that knowledge. I think it's very important to not just read a concept and memorize the content so that you can pass the exam, but in fact do your best to apply that knowledge that you obtained in your day-to-day operations, in your daily work. I think it's very important to apply knowledge. Rote memorization is not going to take us far, and as IT GRC professionals, we need to understand concepts very well. We need to understand the importance of a holistic but also vast amount of knowledge, but that has to come with experience and not just through passing one or more certifications. So keep that in mind when you're going for certification. Do your best to apply that knowledge. I think your future self will thank you for it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I wish you success in your endeavors to get your new or next certification. Let me know in the comments below which certification you're actually pursuing, and perhaps myself or the community can help you with your studies or give you tips and tricks on how to pass that certification. Last but not least, hack the like button, because that's going to be your first step into joining this amazing IT GRC world. Until next time, stay safe and secure, both in the physical and the digital world. Take care.